What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 11 of my Total Warhammer 2 modded Throgg campaign. So as we saw last time, the table is set. The forces of Middenheim, or Middenland rather, are near both Throgg and Wulfrik and ready for a fight, as well as the forces of Marienburg, which is inevitably going to attack us and is already surprisingly strong. We need to attack these guys. They will provide a much-needed influx of cash. However, we first have to eat these armies, and that's going to be probably fairly difficult, at least with regards to Todbringer. I'm not so worried about the forces of the Marienburgers, partly because they're all in march stance, so Throgg is probably going to kill them all himself. So that should be good. I believe there's another full stack here, so it's a little bit dangerous for Wulfrik, but hopefully Todbringer will fall for this. At least I hope. It doesn't seem he can actually cross here. It really depends on what he tries to do. Now, another thing about this that worries me is SFO has a bit of a problem with over-tuning state troops. Like, let's take a look at this. This is a swordsman unit that has 50 melee attack and 51 melee defense, on top of being armored with a shield and 140 units, compared to, say, a berserker unit. Same amount of units, but 48, 28, and less armor. It's and this is a basic level troop here. 50 and 51. It's actually better stats when the melee attack and defense than the Knights of the White Wolf. In what frickin' world are state troops basic swordsmen almost on the level of the Knight of the White Wolf? Like, they're not as armored, they don't have the same weapon strength and all of that, but in fact, if we take a look at weapon strength there, it's 70 damage per unit for 60 units, and this is at 40 at 140 units, so you could say that the swordsmen are, what, better than the Knights of the White Wolf? It's a little bit silly. And yeah, these guys have insane amounts of armor, and I get that the melee defense is lower because that they're on horses, but the stats really shouldn't be comparable. Like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll make short work of them, I'm sure. It's just a thing that I noticed both on the receiving end and while playing as the Empire. It felt a little bit... I thought that they had gotten a nerf to the red line for the state troops, but I feel like it might have not been enough. Because, yeah. But anyway. We'll eat them all anyway. So, what we are going to do is, I think we're going to declare war on Marienburg immediately and just have Throgg attack these armies. What we also want to do is try to get enough money out of attacking these armies so that we can get a, we can get the Icehorn Marauders in here. And additionally, I believe a name was suggested. You know, I'm going to get that in here. I believe it was for the Norscan Ice Wolves. The suggestion was frozen flesh... flesh rippers. They're frozen. They rip flesh. It makes sense. Let's... And I can't promise I'm going to keep some of these units alive, though, because I play fairly dangerously once again with the Hounds, and they've gotten killed or nearly killed several times already, but hey, it is what it is. Now, let's see. Marienburg, you were at war with just Skull Smashes. Okay, so here's the problem. If we attack them directly... okay, wait. How do we do this? How the hell do we do this? I don't want to fight the Empire right now. We will later, but, oh man, we might have to ignore Marienburg. I don't like that because they're a really good option, but if there's nobody we can ask to fight them with... Skull Smashers are where? That's the question. Is this their territory? No, it's probably Kemmler's territory. Oh, they're at the Massive Overhaul. Well, that's a little bit too far. I was hoping to send an agent down there, but there's no way I can think of doing that. Is there any way to force somebody into attacking them? Damn. Yeah, I don't want to... I mean, we're already fighting with Middenland, so I don't care about that. And the thing is, Middenland will definitely ask them to join war against us. But I don't like the idea of the Empire's armies moving against us right now, particularly as we don't know how strong they are. We're at rank 6, and if we take a look at the strength ranks, Kislev is number 1, we don't see 3 or 2. And judging by the fact that Middenland is strong, the Empire could be quite strong as well. Damn, I guess we gotta avoid these guys. That's unfortunate. And we can't see how big the territories belong to the Empire are. I just mostly don't want them sailing up here where we don't have a lord right now. Do we risk it just for this army? I mean, honestly, these armies are fairly weak. I don't expect that they can take... I mean, they might be able to take Pakas Bay if they work together. Okay, we're gonna ignore them for now. Let's land here. Let's see if we can attack Henry von Wolf in this very turn. Ideally, if we kill him here, it really depends on if he can move away or not. And attack. He is in march stance. Can we? Yes, we can. Okay, this is a pretty weak force, but I think we have to fight this... I'm just thinking, on the one hand, we could auto-resolve it, just because we're going to have a much, much more fun fight against Todd. On the other hand, what will the casualties be if we auto-resolve this? Because we need our army in more or less tip-top shape here. What do they have here? They do have a unit of Knights Panther. The Great Swords are also weaker than the 37 to 41. Okay, well, these ones are unupgraded. Still pretty strong. 37 to 41 versus 43 to 46. At least the Great Swords are better than the Swordsmen. Ah, silly. Okay, I guess we're gonna... I'm just trying to decide whether to fight them or not. What will do more damage to our army? Nah, let's just fight them, screw it. Alright, here we go. Gonna be a pretty darn basic fight with the enemy force once again in march stance. We are going to send the trolls out front because we want to minimize the casualties among the rest of the army while the army follows up right after them. And let's see, the enemy do have a fair amount of range units, but it's mostly going to be the Knights of the White Wolf and White Panther that are a concern here. Now, this probably doesn't necessitate a cinematic battle, to be perfectly honest, but I figured since I was fighting this, instead of auto-resolving it anyway, just to try to minimize casualties, you guys might enjoy the extra Throgg turning these guys to paste. And plus, we got to see the Knights of the White Wolf, which are, oh, actually a fairly nice model. Good job, whoever made this model. Probably gonna get a lot of similar stuff with the with Kislev in Warhammer 3. And let's see, where are the Knights Panther? I know I've seen them before in my Balthazar Gelt campaign, and I still haven't managed to beat Balthazar Gelt's kill count. He got the most kills out of all the legendary lords I've played thus far, over 2,000 in a single battle. Granted, most of those were peasants, but still very impressive. Gelt is a scary man. And I'm pretty sure secretly a chaos god. Well, maybe not a god, but kind of evil. Okay, wow. Oh, you just got wrecked, General of the Empire. This guy's gonna go down very, very quick. The trolls are all surrounding him, and they're all real happy. Look at this big old grin. Oh, man. Alright, so the battle lines have connected, and this general is just about done. Another hit should finish him off. Even with the help of the Knights Panther here, he's completely surrounded by trolls, and, well, I see a few of the Knights Panther go down, and I believe the general's dead now. I can't actually see. Well, yeah, he's dead. Okay, there we go. So now it is primarily these knights that we're going to have to worry about. Fortunately, we do have our Marauder Hunters with javelins moving up. Over here, we have our Norscan Warhounds trying to attack these crossbowmen, trying to do some damage there, or at least keep them from firing. Same thing's going on with here with the Ice Wolves, or Frozen Flesh Rippers, I should say, going after these crossbows, and then these Skin Wolves going after these. Can't have any of the range units firing and damaging our fragile spears or our fragile Marauder Hunters with javelins. We also have our Marauders now coming up and behind our Frozen Trolls, or Norscan Ice Trolls. Once again, reason for that being the Trolls can tank quite a bit more damage, even against spears and halberds, than the basic Marauders can, especially since Throgg doesn't have the upgrades to these units and is just using them as meat shields. So we're better off doing that. We also get a breath off, looks like, from our Frosty the Dragon. Yeah, you can see the difference here with the trolls wrecking the great swords here in a little, I don't want to say blob, quite the loose formation rather, while the blobs are doing decently well with regards to the halberdiers and keeping the marauders back. So yeah, definitely got to make use of the trolls and try to prevent casualties. We also have this unit of spears trying to chase down that one unit of huntsmen to try to prevent them from firing. Norscan warhounds are actually doing pretty poorly against the crossbowmen. These, yeah, I probably should have cycle charged. The problem with cycle charging with a weaker unit like this is in the few seconds they take to back off, these guys can get a volley off, which will kill like half of them. So I decided to just keep them in here and wait for something like the dragon or another supporting unit to come in here. Now, the Knights of the Panther got absolutely obliterated in those few seconds that I looked away, as they got wrecked by the Marauder Hunters with javelins and taken out by the trolls as well. Trolls now going after the rest of the great swords that are remaining here, which are not such a great unit at dealing with them in particular. And then, yeah, we now have the Marauder Hunters with javelins targeting all the Knights of the White Wolf, we have a forest of javelins here. There we go. It's actually a pretty nice shot. I like the way that the javelins land in the ground and are just kept there. Lovely. Okay, and I believe that's actually the rest of the army. This is exactly what I was saying about this not really necessitating a cinematic battle, but hey, it's still fun. I understand you guys enjoy that sort of thing, so here we go. And I believe that's the entire chain route. We don't actually need to chase them because they're in march stance, and Throgg is victorious once again. Alright, there we go, a very easy battle as we were expecting, with very negligible losses, under 10% of our army. Most damage taken looks like by the Norscan Warhounds. Unfortunately, they took a fair amount of a beating just a crossbowman, and then fighting melee and crossbowmen. That's a little bit surprising or disappointing, I'm not entirely sure. Now, let's see. Yeah, and their damage dealt was almost half of that of the frozen flesh rippers. The trolls all did reasonably well, even the non-ice trolls. Frog and Throgg, they mostly killed the bosses, but they also did a fairly decent job at killing the Knights Panther and the Knights of the White Wolf there, with the especially good use of the Marauder Hunter javelins, doing a ton of damage to both those units. Anyway, let's see, we gotta sacrifice these captains for the money, I think, because we do want that money. This army should be gone. Taxation, no representation. Tax rate plus 10%, for winning the 10 battles. It's only for 10 turns, but it's still not horrible. Let's see. Oh, wait, Marienburg counts as Empire, huh? Interesting. I feel like they should be their own thing, but sure. Abductor, income from post-battle loot plus 10. Shouldn't Abductor be casualties captured post-battle instead? But hey, whatever, that actually helps us. Then we're going to go to a raiding stance. Very nice. Very, very nice. That certainly helps quite a bit. We're going to move through here without attacking these guys, and we're going to move to Dietershofen. I do believe that is the correct pronunciation. Somebody told me before, and I incorrectly pronounced it the last episode. But yeah, somebody told me in a previous campaign, or several campaigns ago. But hey, as long as I eventually ended up remembering. Now, you now have enough money to recruit the Icehorn Marauders. Let's get them in here. Another melee unit, and almost as strong in melee attack as a basic non-regiment of renowned swordsman. But hey, at least these guys are armored. They should be able to hold for a while, and they're juggernauts. Hopefully that'll be enough. If the ambush succeeds, and if we get the reinforcements coming in, we should be okay. Though we do have to realize that the reinforcements might not actually help us. And on top of that, what Todd might do is he might sail over here instead, completely ignoring this, or he might move around like this and try to cross this bridge, because he might not be able to do this. It depends. I don't know what the AI is going to do here. Let's see, so Throgg's in an okay position, I think. Lorelorn Forest should be an easy take as well, or at the very least, wait, what's the value for sacking this? Nothing, basically, but we can raise it for the gods, and then we can take Dietershofen, and then we can probably sail out of Dietershofen if there's a full stack at Salzenmund, take it, or if there is a full stack at Salzman, what we could do is capture Dietershofen, ambush outside it, wait for the full stack to try to take it back, kill the full stack, then attack Salzman, and maybe even, as I was originally planning, see if we can't cheekily take out Middenheim as well. That would be lovely, and then we can go through these 2 islands and land over here in Troll Country. That's near the Tower of Crack, which will allow us to go for the monster hunt. And don't worry, I have not forgotten the quest here. It's just that we're not really near enough to do anything about it. We could summon another lord, but it's just that we don't have the amount of cash that we need to make use of that, so there it is. Now, we could temporarily get the Norscan Warhounds into Wulfrik's army as well. It might be helpful. I mean, it's not like we're going to have Norscan Warhounds in Throgg's army. If he has wolves, it will be... it will most likely be, well, let's see, Skin Wolves, Norscan Ice Trolls, and Norscan Trolls. Yeah, so we don't get the buff from any of those for the Hounds. Wait, where do we get the buffs? Norscan Warhounds, Ice Wolves, and Marauder Chariots. Okay, so Norscan Warhounds and Ice Wolves and Chariots are in the same tree. Looks like Sirtha Ek is going to have some Wolves in addition to Chariots. That makes sense to me, but I guess temporarily we'll get the Warhounds into Wulfrik's army. Just for fighting Todd, because I'm a little bit concerned. Plus, Wulfrik really does need to have a full army so it could do something about Marienburg if they come out and try to attack him. Now, we did get a little bit of cash, so we should see where we can spend it. So let's take a look. Conquata, we do want this, but let's just check if there's nothing else we can get that's a little bit cheaper. We should really upgrade Longyi, but it's just that Kurun is more important. As soon as somebody sails here, they're going to take it. Like, it's only a matter of time before these elves decide to do so. It'll only take 2 turns to upgrade, but then it'll take another 2 turns to upgrade the Marauding Militia, plus the cost. If we could destroy this and raid Marienburg, we might be able to pay for it. Same with the ports there, and doesn't really change anything. Looking for any upgrades for these things. There we go, Bay of Blades. Definitely got to get that in there before it's attacked. And it looks like nothing else. Troll Fjord. I'm not going to upgrade you. That's not worth it. Now we have not enough gold, unfortunately, to upgrade Longyi. Oh well, let's upgrade the Bulwark at Conquata, because it's possible that somebody will land at the Isle of Wight, destroy it, and then attack Conquata itself. Okay, and I believe with that we can end the turn. We can also pray that Harkonnen doesn't attack us. Our reputation is improving with them, but they are still not happy with us, and they're not fighting anybody else. I would really like them to declare war on somebody else so that we can immediately declare war on them as well ourselves. Cult of Pleasure, where are you guys?
Yes.
Oh, damn, you've lost your armies again.
Enter and speak.
Not so good. How about military access? Yes, okay, they like us a little bit more now. And wow, look at how many factions they're fighting. Mom Rathi, please don't die. Let's just see. Improving to 44, pretty good. We need more of those Dark Elf buildings. And whoa. Did Krakadrak lose all its armies to Goromadni tribe? Really? I'm kind of impressed. You guys are going to be a worthy confederation just off of that. Look at this. Krakadrak is dead. I mean, they probably won't be able to take their dwarf holds, but still. I'm still impressed. Good job. Unless it was the Skaven attacking them, because they're also at war. But the Skaven are also fighting... they're also fighting Kislev. I do wonder if all these 2 armies are just destroying each other repeatedly. Anyway, Tower of Crack is okay. Let's end the turn, and let's see if Todbringer falls for it. That would be amazing. Well, I suppose what also would be amazing is actually winning the fight, because there's no guarantee. And having the ambush succeed, because if it doesn't, that's going to be a problem. Because then we'll have to fight without the garrison if the ambush fails. Come on. He's going to move away, and he's going to raid this place. He doesn't actually see Wulfrik, but he's not attacking. Why are you being a coward? The Troll King listens. You want us to pay money? No. Keep fighting Krakadrak. I don't care what you do. Boris, come here. Yeah, I think the reason he did this is he wants to go around like this. Okay, that's okay, Wulfrik. Just stay here. Nobody knows you're here. You're costing us a lot of cash. But if you could manage to do this, I would really appreciate it. We do have enough cash to upgrade Longyi now, but I don't know if there's something better to upgrade. Let's... Again, I'd really like to attack you guys, but you're still not fighting anybody we can declare war on. Okay, well, let's move out here. Moving. Alright, on to these two places. Sack Dietershofen for the money, then destroy it. Or wait, we'll start probably with Laurelorn. Oh wow, it's gonna take us 2 turns just to get here. Probably not worth it, I'm just gonna ignore it then. Just go for Dietershofen. We're busy. In fact, it's probably better to get a line of ruins over here without actually colonizing them, because the AI doesn't handle ruins very well. It sort of like creates a barrier for it. Anyway, what can we upgrade? Let's double check. This is going to be every turn, unfortunately, because since we have very limited money, we have to be careful where exactly we spend it. Although I'm sure that's pretty obvious. Kuran, you can't be upgraded. I guess we go for Longyi now. Nothing else stands out to me as worth upgrading. I'd love to upgrade all these slavers' camps. I really would. And I'm very tempted to. But let's start with Longyi, just so that we can defend it. We can at least get one slavers' camp. What province is making the most cash right now? Let's find out. It's the Mountains of Hell, so we're going to upgrade this here. And then we'll wait for the others. Oh, and we need to upgrade a plunder hall for the Sword of Nope, for the Wintertooth crown. Okay, so we'll do that next. Just a little bit more cash, and it's going to start going a little bit better for us, as long as nothing goes crazy wrong. We are also... Oh, they don't regenerate from raiding. We have to go into raiding camp. Well, we're heading towards Dietershofen, and I don't think they can defend themselves very well, so I think we'll be okay, regardless of the fact that our units are a little bit damaged, so just keep going. Alright, come on, Todd. Come here. Maybe march stance over here. You want a march stance, buddy? I know you guys like that sort of thing. Come on. Kothik and Eatane and Ivres are all fighting. Ah, yes. Now, it says that we don't have a good chance here, and their army is very elite. But... we do have mobility here. We do have 2 sets of Norscan Warhounds as well as a chariot. And, yeah, okay. This is going to be a fun fight. I'm obviously going to have to make a cut here because I already fought a cinematic battle and you guys know the drill by now. But, ooh, we also get the Standard of Discipline. Gotta put that on Wulfrik. We can't have him routing. This is an important fight. It's not like a make or break the campaign fight, but it's pretty close. And it says that we have a very, very small chance of winning here. But they do have 4 units of range, which should easily be taken care of by us. I'm very concerned by all these knights, though. They are going to wreck face with regards to the Berserkers. And the Banner of the Black Iron Reavers, we gotta put that on our best unit. Probably gonna have to be these No, you know what? I'm gonna put them on the Icehorn Marauders. Armor, melee defense, immune to psychology. Wait, are these guys already unbreakable? No, they're Defender, Juggernaut, Charge Defense Expert, Physical, Resilience, and they got, buffs from the Rage, and Weather the Storm, just like all the, Wait, does everybody have Weather the Storm? I think all Norscans have it. Yeah, okay, it's just a standard Norscan thing. Alright, put that on you guys. You guys are going to be the Black Iron Reavers, although... maybe the little bit of armor, you know, it's useful. But the regular Berserkers are unbreakable anyway, so I don't really care about the immune to psychology on you guys. Yeah, just keep it on this unit. Alrighty, so yeah, once again, gonna make that cut for the cinematic battle previously, and now this one. Alright, there we are, and here we go. We also have to remember that Todd is not in march stance, so we will have to kill any unit as best we can as they try to run off the field and damage a lot of them as much as possible, because it'll have to be Wulfrik going after the army himself with regards to anything that survives. And I know that Wulfrik really can't fight Todd right now. He's not strong enough. Actually, on paper, he's stronger, but he lost to that Dark Elf Master, which was kind of surprising. And he hasn't changed in levels very much, despite the fact that he's a duelist. So I'm not super keen on this fight. I guess we're going to try, because, I mean, who else is going to fight Todd? Todd is actually flying cav, though, so that might actually work to our advantage, but I suppose we'll see. Let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go. The first fight of Wulfrik versus Throgg, or no, that's not so much what's happening, versus Todd, rather. Throgg has already trounced Wulfrik and will not need to do so again. Now, this is an ambush, and it was a successful ambush, but I had to carefully consider whether we wanted to set up and immediately attack the army here, or wait for our reinforcements, which are actually coming off of the edge of the map. I'm gonna speed this up while I'm at it. And at the end of the day, I decided to wait and get the entire army together and attack together instead of with these units by itself. Now, I did seemingly waste those spears there, and that's because it seems that the reinforcements don't actually start arriving until battle is joined in an ambush, which is pretty interesting. I waited a while and they didn't come in, and then I tried popping that set of spears, then they immediately started to arriving. Anyway, I see that the enemy units are fairly high level and they got decent buffs, so I didn't trust Wulfrik's army alone to handle them, so we will be using our forces. Now, I actually, when playing this, I couldn't actually see the enemy army. I had actually no idea where it is other than the fact that it was in the middle path and where it was ambushed, because you can see the fog of war there. This is all in shadow. We can only see this because it's a replay. And so we are going to just set up our army as best we can. Let's fast forward through this. This is going to take some time. I felt really tense while doing this because I actually had no idea whether this entire time Todd's army was moving through the ambush, but it seems that, or the ambush path rather, but it seems that they don't actually move. I don't know whether this is because they can't actually see our army, or whether this is how the AI behaves in ambushes when it doesn't get actually ambushed on the field. But yeah, that's it. I actually sent Wulfrik up on this hill to scout out and see them. You can see him watching just on the distance. This is why you should never go up on a hill like this, because you get silhouetted against the horizon. Come on, Wulfrik, you know better than that. Or maybe he's not afraid of no Todd. But yeah, so we are going to wait until our entire army gets there, and to keep them fresh, I actually had them walk all this way, so they're going to just waddle over. We also are going to try to actually envelop the enemy army as best we can. You can see that the setup is happening already. We're going to pop the main line near and around this hill where Wulfrik currently is, with our range units here, and you can see our melee units starting to move in like so. We also have our giant pile of doggos and not so giant pile of chariots and horsemen moving around. We're going to try to get them around here and then here to attack the enemy range units as soon as we're able to. We also have our berserkers, which are going to go in and around and loop again and loop around the enemy main melee formation as soon as we're able to. And we also have our single set of Fimir stalkers, which are essentially sort of the same role as these things, but they're not as fast, and they're a sort of flanking unit. Actually, they're more similar to a role to the Marauder Berserkers. They just happen to be built out of the same tree, but whatever. As the hounds and the wolves. And there we go. This is also the debut of our new well, actually, yes. Both our Berserker Regiment of Renown and our Marauder Unit Regiment of Renown. So these guys, the Icehorn Marauders, super heavily armored. They appear to be semi-chosen, semi-marauder, actually semi-chaos warriors and semi-marauders, since they got full plate, it looks like, and they have over 100 armor. Kind of excited to see how well they do, plus they're shielded on top of that. And it is also the debut of one of our newer Berserker units, or Regiment of Renown Berserker units. That would be, see if we could tell you apart from the regular Berserkers. It looks like they just have the recolor of a red. Okay, well, fair enough. A little bit boring, but other than that, they could have at least gotten some sort of hat. Maybe Berserkers don't like hats. But that's how you tell an elite unit from a non-elite unit, damn it. It's all about the hat. And also we have our Regiment of Renown Norscan Warhounds. Can you actually tell them apart from the regular ones? They appear to be... They also have the red markings on them as opposed to the blue. Okay. Well, we can certainly tell them apart, even if it's a little bit boring, unlike the Icehorn Marauders. Okay, so now we have Wulfrik trying to annoy the enemy army into actually attacking us. The enemy army didn't want to move, and I basically just wanted to draw them out, having Wulfrik sort of prance around in front of his army and challenge them. This really actually feels loreful into exactly what he'd do. Unfortunately, Todd himself didn't come in for a duel, and they sent out a regiment of Knights of the White Wolf, and they did keep trying to charge him and then backing off, trying to charge him and backing off. Finally, I did eventually force them into attacking Wulfrik, and there we go. From the hills come the trolls, as well as the Marauder Hunters with javelins. Gotta try to remove this unit as fast as possible. They actually do a fairly insane amount of damage to Wulfrik really fast. They are hammer infantry, so they pierce all his armor. We do take a little bit of damage from our own javelins, but not nearly as much. I actually had to send in the Norsca Ice Trolls to help Wulfrik out to get away from the press here, so that he didn't take even more damage to these guys. Fortunately, they do drop fairly quickly to the amount of javelins we have coming in. There's just blood frickin' everywhere. Damn. This unit feels particularly bleedy. Really, really bleedy. I mean, I get that they're like hundreds and hundreds of javelins, but damn. Korn's real happy somewhere. Anyway, I even moved the Norsca Ice Trolls and Wulfrik away. I don't think that Wulfrik took all this damage once again from the javelins. It feels like it was from these guys, especially with all the buffs that they have. And they do hit pretty hard. Anyway, we also have the Pistoliers here, which are going to suffer the same fate. I'm going to switch these Marauder Hunters to them. And we can see the army has fully gathered up, basically, getting ready to fully envelop the enemy host from all angles and just surround and kill them. I don't imagine the Pistoliers are going to have a very good time against our Marauder Hunters with javelins, which are also... Yeah, see, a single volley takes them about to half HP from 2 or 3, maybe, units of these guys. Not a crazy amount of models dead, but they are buried with the javelins there. The units of the Knights of the White Wolf are basically ready to rout now. They've gotten beat up by the trolls, they charge into the Marauders, and they take more damage to those javelins, and now it looks like Todbringer is indeed willing to fight with Wulfrik himself, but both Wulfrik and the trolls are actually going to get to work on him. We don't want Wulfrik to take so much damage that he routs, because that'll hurt our army's morale, and we really, really need to win this particular battle, so we gotta pull out all the stops. And here we go, the battle lines are joining. We get a use of the Sea Fang into the enemy range units, doing a decent amount of damage to this one unit and a little bit to the Swordsman unit, which is pretty okay. We also have a Knights of the White Wolf charging into and through the units of Marauders. They do seem to have fairly decent masses. They can directly charge through this. I imagine that the Diamond Formation actually increases their mass, like it's probably a secret stat. I don't know if maybe you can't actually do that. I haven't looked into it, but it does seem like they went through this formation quite well. I've often, like we saw a couple episodes ago, I don't remember if it was the Knights, no, it was the Bretonnian Knights that couldn't charge through a unit of, might have been Marauders or something like that. It was I think it was a Knights Errant or a Knights of the Realm. But regardless, this seems a lot more effective. But unfortunately for them, punching through the unit like this is going to leave them open for the Marauder Hunters with javelins to chuck said javelins at them. Over here, Wulfrik is fighting Boris along with the help of the trolls. Battle lines are just about ready to join over here as the swordsmen and the spears charge and then get countercharged by our own Marauders, who leap into the air in the Norscan fashion. Hey, these two must be brothers. They were completely in sync. And let's see. Where are our special units? The Icehorn Marauders are over here. I want to see them fight. Do they fight like Norscan Marauders, just in armor, or do they fight more like Chosen? Oh, wow. Huh. These guys do stop them. I feel like a charge from these guys should also just, on the charge at the very least, knock something like the swordsman away. Look at all those damn javelins flying through the air. You gotta love the Marauder Hunters with javelins. Once again, a lovely, lovely unit. for a basic archer unit, or a basic range unit, I should say, quite effective. And now our berserkers are rushing out of the woods here, freaking out all these bowmen slash hunters. I mean, that's got to be a scary sight. And then that's on one side. On the other side, we also have our range units, a chariot coming in, and 3 whole units of Norscan warhounds, as well as even more berserkers coming out of here, and actually going to go into a fight against the Wolfkin. This is a very, very appropriate fight. What I should have done here, if I didn't want to minimize losses, was have these two fight one-on-one, just out of curiosity as to who'd win. Now, I think these guys are more upgraded, but yeah, unfortunately what I ended up doing was sending the Brutes of the Hound and the Marauder Berserkers, the regular units, to fight them at the same time. Plus, for some reason, these guys turned around and allowed us to charge them in the back, so not sure what's going over here, but we will watch them charge. We will also... Oh, I believe I was annoying them with the Marauder Horsemen on skirmish, so they were actually chucking axes at them, and that's why they are turned around like that. So yeah, that's certainly to their detriment. But yeah, once again, this feels like a completely appropriate matchup. Axes versus axe. Big ol' axe versus 2 fairly big axes, but slightly smaller. Wait, do they use the exact same model of axe? Is this literally the exact same axe but bigger? It looks pretty much identical. Wait, it doesn't have the spikes. It doesn't have the spikes under the... No, or does it? It's kind of hard to tell. No, it doesn't have the spikes. Okay, oh, wait. It has spikes on the back of it, it looks like. Yes, this is critical. This is critical information. But anyway, so you can see the Berserkers have caught up with all of the range units as well as the Warhounds, charging into them and doing a pretty good job. I mean, these guys aren't going to get any range damage out, and then we have these guys doing the exact same here. You really shouldn't fight Norscan wolves in the woods like this, and look at all these berserkers and stuff. Now, this is what I was talking about with regards to enveloping the army. These guys are fighting in a blob here, and now they're going to get a charge from the back as well. Let's watch a charge in slow-mo, I guess. And there we go. I missed the Norscan spear barrage here, but, you know, you can clearly see where it happened. And let's see how much damage these guys take. Let's see, swordsmen are at 120 and are, what, 75% HP-ish? After the charge... Oh, wow. I thought that berserker was dead, but he's actually alive. Never mind. Oh, there goes his head. That was the right berserker to watch, I guess. But yeah, these guys do a pretty good job at holding them off, despite the fact that they're being charged in the back here. So they lost a few units, and they're actually getting ready to rout, but I'm not surprised by that. They certainly do a number on the regular Marauders, not so much a crazy number on the Icehorn Marauders, but they did lose nearly half HP, and a bunch of their... and a bunch of their models, or at least 9 of their models. I believe they were a 60 model unit. I wonder if this was primarily from the warrior priest killing them. Let's see, I mean, there's a couple of their corpses around the warrior priest, or was it the actual swordsman? I mean, they're still on par only with the swordsman, despite the fact that it's a basic unit, so there it is. Now, Todd over here is still alive. The units of the Knights of the White Wolf, the second Knights of the White Wolf, as they had to, over here, they did finally charge through all this, just to run over here and then try to once again charge the Marauder Hunters with javelins, who just pelted them with javelins to their deaths. They're not a shielded unit, I believe, because they're a two-handed hammer unit, so they have a particularly bad time against these guys. And Todbringer, unfortunately, you are going to force your army to rout by dying over here, buddy. Or at the very least, routing. I don't remember if he dies or routs. Oh, you can't move through this. Exactly why I got this unit in here, to try to stop Todd from running away so we could kill him. Come on, Wulfrik, or come on, trolls. Somebody do it. Somebody finish this guy. Get in there, Wolfie. I know it's harsh to... Oh, it looks like one of the trolls, or maybe one of the marauders got the kills, and now the enemy army immediately starts to rout. Attacked in rear, male and unit losing decisively, and yeah, clearly they're being attacked from all sides. Like, look at this. And obviously we massively outnumber the enemy. This is the only part where I didn't have enough forces, and I did have the Marauders with great axes hold this line here, these two units, just so that we could devote all of our resources to the rest of us, because they had a lot more elite units to kill. In the meantime, it looks like the The Wolfkin are just about dead. Only 10 of them remaining, and obviously they fight to the death. They're also getting pelted by... Oh, these are Marauder horses without axes. They're the Javelin kind, which is even worse for these guys, probably, since they don't have armor to pierce anyway. Even if they're not large units. And we got Berserkers jumping on them. We got the Chariots running around, mostly now just chasing down these units. And the Wolfkin should die. I wonder if they have Death Blow. Doesn't really matter. It does not really matter. These units are all done now, and it's just these guys remaining now. And here comes Wulfrik and some trolls to make sure that this is also gone in short order. We're going to get a Sea Fang in there at the same time as the charge of the trolls, doing a lot of damage and then moving through those trees. Would have been funny if the boat could just smash into a tree, but I imagine it should be able to break it apart. And there we go, that is the chain route, and so falls Todbringer's entire army. We do have to chase it around, but I'm obviously going to speed through the rest of that, because it's not particularly interesting. And just gotta destroy everything here so that it doesn't come back next round. But a really lucky ambush. I'm glad that it worked, and that we didn't have to fight this entire battle with only Wulfrik's army, because the fact that we were able to surround their entire army like we did certainly helped out. It feels very appropriate for an ambush, despite the fact that it wasn't really an ambush, as we didn't actually make much use of the ambush path / mechanic itself. But hey, if it works, it clearly works. And I'm happy with it. Just a few units left. Come on now. I really wish that there was another level of, like, 8 times speed just for the chasing armies down and that sort of thing. Anyway, decisive victory. Pretty damn decent. Let's see how we did in terms of kills and in terms of damage taken with regards to the individual units. Alrighty, there we go. Still a fairly difficult fight in the sense that, well, I mean, not perhaps so much difficult, but tense. It was tense because of the setup and how long it took, as I noted earlier, just not being able to see where exactly the enemy is and approaching them, and slowly trying to properly set up to envelop the army. The decision to go back and not use the ambush, but instead use the entirety of the host, I think was a pretty good one, because we would have suffered a lot more casualties otherwise. Now, granted, Wulfrik probably would have also gotten a ton more kills by being able to use his Sea Fang to go through the line if the lines had clashed more properly, as opposed to the way that they did. But I think at the end of the day, it still worked out. Look at the number of kills the Norsca, the Beasts of Tashnar got. Pretty damn good. 13k damage, and also 13k on these Berserkers. Not so much on these ones. Yeah. Alright. Everybody worked out. It was really useful to have all these mobile units there to get rid of all the range as well. And what are we gonna do here? I guess we're gonna sacrifice. We once again do need the money. It looks like the Warrior Priest is the only one that got away. Cowardly Warrior Priest, go figure. I feel like Warrior Priest should actually be unbreakable. One of several units. And now Wulfrik has Campaigner, just like Throgg, and the Perfect Vigor is there, which should be a pretty darn nice buff. Let's auto-resolve this. He's gonna be able to move away, isn't he? He's gonna move like here, and then we're not gonna be able to follow because of the bridge thing. No, wait, he's blocking the bridge, this is why. So we might still be okay here. Okay, well, Wulfrik, try it. Go right there. Auto-resolve this. He's gonna move. Oh, he's not even gonna move. Okay, we'll just die then, buddy. Why is this is a little bit concerning. That should be fine. Yeah, it's fine. And we're going to kill the captives for this one, just in case we get another fight coming up. Enemy killed in battle. Now that Todbringer's down... Wait, do you actually get a... Oh, you don't get a special buff for killing Todd? That's a little bit unfortunate. He should have a... he should have a trait for killing him. Especially for the Norskins, who are fairly near to Middenheim. Well, I guess... more so for Chaos, but nonetheless, it's close enough. Alright, now, Wulfrik leveled up. Let's get that final level into Fearsome Warriors, as we are getting a lot of use out of it. We're fairly far away still from the War Mammoth, but at least we can get Let's see, leadership and lords. Whoa, all armies faction-wide for trophy collection. You know what? That's pretty nice. Let's get that. And then, oh, there's some good stuff in here. Yeah, whoa. I just got this Fearsome Warriors, but Caked in Blood, Marauder Infantry Physical Resistance, and the income from raiding. That sounds real swell for me. Let's get that, because we're probably going to raid next turn, and I do imagine we get a lot of cash out of raiding Marienburg, and in fact, we probably do it right now. Will Wulfrik's army survive? We could also sit here and recruit... Oh, we can get a couple of Fimir Stalkers in here? Huh. What allows us to do this? What is allowing us to recruit them here? It's not this, because we don't have them. Fimir Warriors, Skin Wolves. Oh! Here they are. Here are the Stalkers. So we can get them at this line. Okay. I'd rather use the Fimir Stalkers in Throgg's army. That would feel more right, because it's the Age of the Beast, after all, and he should have a Beast army. But, are they better than the Ice Wolves? What do they offer that the Ice Wolves do not? Now, they do apply bleed. They're probably better flankers, and they do have scaling damage, which is based on how much HP the enemy has lost already. They've also not... They don't have a great amount of speed. Their armor is fairly nice, surprisingly, for a stalking unit. Why do they have... The Fimir have thicker skin than Trolls do. They have more armor than Throgg. And they're a tier 2 unit. I don't know, game. I don't know. I don't agree. Oh, man. So do we sit here for a turn, or do we just go to raiding? The thing is, no other army is nearby. I know we can't attack Marienburg. But also, we're not technically at war with Marienburg, and we might not get a better chance. Let's go right... you know what? We could go to raiding cap next turn and then recruit there. Let's just go here and raid. Let's see how much this gives us. We're at 1881. This gives us, yeah, 4K. Pretty darn nice. So let's sit here for a little while. That'll fix up our money situation. If we can sit here for like 5 turns with just Wulfrik, we could really fix a lot of our issues. And in the meantime, Throgg is going to move over here, but I think that's going to have to wait until next time, because we are out of time. That was a pretty glorious win for Wulfrik, the first major enemy character that he has challenged and defeated, although not quite as much in a duel. It looked like he would have probably lost against Todd one-on-one, and I really didn't want to risk it. I definitely was a little bit wary of having the army take that leadership hit if he were to rout, so that's fine. As I said, calling it here. I'll do all the points assigning, or any remaining assigning points between the episodes, and then I will also do the buildings, of course, as I was already planning to, and there's a fair few amount that we can build with the 8K that we have. Next time, we will be attacking Dietershofen and Salzenmund if we can manage it, and then possibly even Middenheim, although I'm willing to bet that by the time Throgg actually gets to Middenheim, Todd will be back here with a full stack, and even if it's not Todd, there's going to be a full stack here, I just know it. I'm also a little bit uncomfortable, actually greatly uncomfortable, by the fact that Marienburg is following us around. Also, why are they in raiding stance in their own territory? The hell? What? What are you doing, Marienburg?
Received.
They're just asking for Throgg to make them all into paste. If only they were at war with somebody else. But hey, whatever. As long as we're raiding them, we're getting something out of it. And more of that next time. More Empire Death next time as we move all the way back to the north and towards the Goromani tribe, towards our Frostworm quest, towards Kislev, towards Troll Country, where Throgg wants to be, and all that stuff. Hopefully, once we fix our money situation, we'll get Surtha Ek on the field, and our 3 legendary lords will be able to make short work of the rest of these Empire territories, but we'll have to see. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. If you have a second, please do take it to leave a like and or a comment to support the channel. It really, really does help. As always, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.